India's sailing prowess is 4,000 years old. Our people have taken to the seas for trade and war and exploration since ancient times. If the Indian Navy today is a force to reckon with, it has its foundations in ancient history. The birth of India's maritime skills predates that of Western civilization. India's association with the oceans goes back to time immemorial. Perhaps the first account of a lost treasure hunt at sea is that of the churning of the ocean to obtain the nectar of immortality. The ocean was churned by Devas and Danavas, who were the sons of Kashyap by his two wives Aditi and Diti respectively, in order to retrieve Amrit. Even today, the invocation at the launching ceremony of a warship is addressed to goddess Aditi. The world's first tidal dock is believed to have been built at Lothal around 2300 BC during the Harappan civilization near the present-day Mangrol harbour on the Gujarat coast. The Rig Veda, written in around 2000 BC, describes naval expeditions that used 100-oar ships to subdue other kingdoms. The Rig Veda also mentions PLAVA, the side wings of a vessel which give stability under storm conditions, perhaps an early prototype of modern stabilizers. The Atharvaved mentions boats which were spacious, well constructed and comfortable. And what would ships be if they stood at harbour and not navigate the endless oceans? And how would navigation be possible without landmarks or, well, sea marks? For the ancient sailors, the sky served as a map. In fact, two ancient Indian astronomers of repute, Aryabhat and Varahamihira, carefully mapped the positions of celestial bodies and developed a system by which one could accurately locate the position of a ship by observing the stars. The sea was a route of trade, travel and conquest too. Alexander the Great built a harbour at PATALA, where the Indus branches into two just before entering the Arabian Sea. His army returned to Mesopotamia in ships built in Sindh. Later, Chandragupta Maurya, who ruled the vast northern India then, established an admiralty division under a superintendent of ships as part of his war office, with a charter including responsibility for navigation on the seas, oceans, lakes and rivers. India also conducted a vast volume of trade via the ocean and sea routes. India had trade contact with Java and Sumatra as well as other countries in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. India also traded with Rome. Roman writers speak of Indian merchants carrying vast loads of gold from Rome in exchange for sought-after exports such as precious stones, textiles, spices, sandalwood, perfumes, herbs and indigo. Between the 5th and 10th centuries AD, the Vijayanagaram and Kalinga kingdoms of southern and eastern India had established their rule over Malaya, Sumatra and western Java. In the period 984 to 1042 AD, the Chola kings dispatched great naval expeditions which occupied parts of Burma, Malaya and Sumatra. A 14th century account of an Indian ship tells that it could carry a capacity of 100 people, providing testimony to India's shipbuilding and navigation skills. Another early 15th century account describes a vessel being built in compartments such that if one portion was damaged, this would not impede the ship's voyage. This skill was alien to the West then. Modern-day ships are also divided into watertight compartments, much like the older Indian counterpart. After this came a period of decline in Indian maritime power, with Indian kingdoms suffering losses in battles at sea to ward off Western invaders. There was a resurgence under the Marathas, with Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj considered as the father of Indian Navy, but then again came a downfall that Indians did not recover from until modern times. However, when in the early 17th century, when British naval ships came to India, they discovered shipbuilding and repair skills and a seafaring people that offered them the perfect platform to build a fighting force that would one day become the Indian Navy.